Tasha is not connected and it's just me. Hey, y'all. Tonight is ladies' night, and I don't know where my sister is, but apparently y'all have me for now. We have some lovely ladies in the back room. It looks like Tasha is trying to rejoin. Come on in, drop a heart or something in the comments to let us know you're here.
Can you hear me at least?
We can hear you, but your face is not.
I'm more than aware. Yeah, I'm more than aware. That's
not visible.
Yeah, the way the day is going, guys, that's just like the way it's happening. So why don't we just roll with this voice of mine for now? And
you can go back out and come back in. I'll talk to the people for a second.
That works too. I don't think that's gonna help, but that's fine.
Why?
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Don't you worry about it, little lady. If you want to talk by yourself, you can. I mean, or you could bring Anita in and talk to you. That'd be good.
Okay. Are you going to try to do something over there with technical support?
Hey, man, I'm trying. That's all I can do.
Hey, Anita.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
So tonight we're doing ladies' night. So I think there will be seven of us eventually. But Anita is one of the seven, and she has great perspective, guys. And our panel is filled with women, all types of women, I believe, moms, single women, daughters, young, older. So we're excited to see where this conversation goes. Tasha sent over the topics. Did you pick some of those topics?
Actually, I didn't see it.
Oh,
I thought it was going to be a surprise. So I'm going to be raw with my
Did you didn't get the topics?
Y'all probably sent it. Y'all know I'm last minute with everything. So
please, if you could, please.
Actually, I'm just gonna jump in real quick. I sent an email and told the ladies that it was a surprise. You were on that email. You probably didn't see it. Yes. So now you know what the topics are. Surprise, y'all!
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. I thought I might have missed something.
You were right on task then. I wasn't. And I've had a day. That's probably why.
I think we all have.
What you want to share? What you drinking?
I made me a strawberry margarita.
From where?
From Anita's place.
You know how to make margaritas?
Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
How to make a margarita.
And the glass that Roro, see, she got me my glass for my birthday. They got my name up there, Anita B. I thought it was cute.
That is cute.
But I missed it was a glass straw. And I think
now you're not trying to do nothing for the environment. Now you use the plastic.
Well, no, I lost the straw. So I had to, and I just love the glass. You know, it was a glass straw. It was so cute, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Still, the alcohol still tastes the same, right?
It'll taste the same. Yes, ma'am. So
okay. So Tasha's back with us. Thank God.
We'll just keep Nita on. Anita is kind of our resident. If you notice from our Instagram, she is our resident ladies' night person. So that's why I thought she would be a good person to kind of slide in while we were having some technical difficulties. Yeah, so we could still keep Nita on and kind of go through our regular run through.
Okay, what is the regular run through?
Well, first, welcome everyone. You are watching ORNOT podcast. I am Tasha Mack, your favorite co-host and her favorite big sister. Actually, her only big sister. And you can introduce yourself if you like.
I'm Dani, and that's it. I got a lot of titles.
Did you have any updates or anything? Apparently, you've had quite the day, and so have I. But did you have any?
Well, right now I don't have any furniture in my apartment, and it's looking like I'm house poor, but I'm in an apartment. So there's you had no idea. And I am sitting on a new bar stool. So this season, I don't know how many episodes are in this season. There will be no squeaky chairs anymore. I'm sitting on a firm foundation, like God, and so I'm thankful for that. However, I don't have a couch right now. I did come up with a solution.
I do think it's odd because you started your day off calling me to say goodbye to that couch.
Yes, I did, because that couch needed to go. That couch was sinking, and that couch had seen its day. It was 5 years old, and I never wanted it to begin with.
Was that one of the couches that I was on?
Yes, Anita. I guess I should have called you too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So when my sister moved to, fun fact, when my sister moved to Atlanta, We packed up her car, her cute little car, to the nine. Like, it was like if somebody was to drive past us, they would be like, how is the woman in the passenger seat breathing? And that was me. And we drove to Atlanta, and she got a job at the city of Atlanta. And my baby sister, all she wanted to do was work and live in Atlanta. Like, that's all she wanted. And as her big sister, we was going to make that happen. Okay. And so we got to Atlanta, or right before we went, there was no furniture. Like, she had made plans and everything went shot to shit.
Yes.
And we found a couch. It was not as appealing
Aesthetically.
but that couch, I slept on that couch every time I went to Atlanta, and I was a faithful Atlanta member for at least a good year and a half or two before the COVID came down. And Anita has slept or sat on that couch. We've watched twerk contests from that couch. Like, that couch has history.
And this couch will too if you ever come back. So I mean, there are memories to be made if you come back.
No, it's not no if. We look, I'm up there. Like, I'm the big sister that don't know about it now. We coming back.
Yeah, Anita, well, you just
adopted the family.
Well, she won't let us drive. I'm trying to bring my dog. Like, I'm trying to come for a little. She won't let me drive.
I'm not paying a pet fee. I can't.
Well, I have a sibling that y'all don't know about that works for a really prestigious hotel, so she's gonna have lots of discounts now. So I can just pick a hotel that I want to stay.
You must have a sibling that I don't know about. It must be in one of Anita's half sisters, because it's not me. I don't work for any hotels.
I know that's right. So, okay. So that's the story of the couch, y'all. So,
yeah,
but
I did end up. We found a solution. Tonight I found a couch at Rooms to Go. I'm just gonna get a sofa. So don't worry, you guys that are in the chat. There will be a couch here on Thursday eventually.
It's only one day. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and then you be couch ready by Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do have a quick note before we get started with Girls Night, which is in 60 seconds. This is a sad moment, but I felt the need to say this. So I want to say rest in paradise to Avion Jordan. Avion Jordan is a young man that died last night in Portsmouth. He played for Churchland. He was a basketball
19-year-old.
Yep. And he was a senior, stood right beside my baby at the MVP game, and they held the thing next to each other, and they played against each other for 4 years. And it was gun violence. And so just putting that to light, because somebody woke up this morning without their baby.
Yeah.
And I could only imagine it being me or my nephew or a cousin or something. So moment of silence and prayers to Avion Jordan's family. And for those that thought whatever they did was worth it, it's not. And karma is a real big, you know what. So run that. That's how I feel.
It's always gun violence in Churchland. I wonder if there was. Yes, Churchland is not where it's at. It's not safe.
I don't know if he lived in Churchland. I just know he played for Churchland. I don't,
he probably went to Grove.
And then around 3:00 today in downtown Suffolk at Seabourn Square, two men were shot and killed too. But they're saying that they kind of tied it to that incident that happened last night.
Oh,
so, I don't know. Yeah, it's so sad.
There's a lot of violence going on, things that people aren't talking about that I've known about since the beginning. When I woke up this morning, not really something that I've heard many people talk about, but in the basketball world, it definitely shook us. I'm a basketball mama. And so I'm pretty sure there's tons of basketball mamas that watch, or football mamas or aunties. And yeah, and he was headed to college, right? He was playing for the college. He was very good. He was a very, very good basketball player. Just praying, every day for all our little ones and our old ones as well. So sorry to break it up, but this is what this platform is for. So if some one person heard me and decided to do something a little different, then I've done my job.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for bringing that to light.
You're welcome. So tonight's ladies' night, this is where this is what happened. Last show, I said, who wants to come through? And I looked at the ones that I saw come through, and I grabbed their names, and I reached out. So this is one of the biggest ladies' nights I think we've had in a while. I think the last time we had 6. This is 7. So we're going to bring the ladies in one by one. I hope they're ready because the time is now. I don't know where Anita went, but we're gonna wait. So I hope it takes all of these people.
You're gonna bring everybody in at once.
Yeah, I'm trying to now. Is that everyone, or am I missing somebody?
These people on this panel, these panels, did y'all share the link with y'all folks?
I did.
Okay, great. That's a
It's
one
on
I
my
did.
page, ma'am.
Thank you, LaWanda.
It's on my
Brittany,
page.
you did too. Okay,
Yes.
Anissa.
Anissa, can we call you Nisi, or do you prefer?
She put Anissa right here.
Nisi is fine, either or.
Okay, you Nisi. Got you.
Is everybody off mute, or is everyone on mute?
Brittany's on mute. She's doing the corporate thing. I hear you. I'll be on mute too when no one's speaking. So
okay. All right. So yes, my sister was unaware that I that I'm going to surprise you guys with the topic. So I do apologize about that misstep. But please share with all your folks. This is the time to share. We'll do so too in a minute. But we can go around and I guess introduce yourselves. Let's just do a quick introduce. So here's the thing. We're only here for an hour, right? So that's a little less than an hour. So we got to make it quick. You know, if you see me or Danielle put the church finger up, you already know what time it is. Wrap it up. Okay. Anita, okay, so I just need to know who you are, how you know us, and what you love about this show.
Got it.
Go. Anita, you first.
Oh, hi y'all. I'm Anita B. I know me and Tasha have been friends for I guess maybe the past 13 years. I don't know. I can't remember. But we were both basketball moms, and I adopted Danielle as my little sis. And Tasha's my big sis, so that's how I know them. I like ORNOT podcast because, for one, I've been on the show a couple of times. I feel special and important. I feel like I'm a celebrity. Anyway, but I like the topics and just being able to join in, share. Okay, yeah, join in and share. I love it. That's it.
Britt, you next. Britt, we can't hear you, girl. That's why I told you to take yourself off of mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Tasha is my big sister. And I'm Brittany Hogan. And I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting Danielle yet, but she's my little sister too.
Sounds good. LaWanda, LT.
Hey, I'm everybody. I'm LT. And I know Tasha, she's my sister. I don't know if she's the front to back one, and that's what she is. And I love Or Not podcast because you love it or not. It's just you never know what you're going to get. And I like it here. It's fun. And it's always something that one informs, educates, and at the end of the day, just makes the day a little bit brighter.
Oh, that was like a commercial. You might have to run that back. That was real. Hey, Nisi, that's a hard act to follow, sister. What you got?
Hey y'all, I'm Nisi. I am Tasha's line sister, and I'm new to Danielle and Tosh. It's only been maybe a year. I've only met Danny one time, but I do plan on seeing more of you in the future. And I love ORNOT podcast because it's real. It's real women talking about real topics. Period.
And I just want to say we do have to give Nisi a little plug. Nisi is a serious promoter. Nisi will bring or not at least once a week. Nisi wants to know when we coming back. Nisi holds us to the fire. And I pass it on to Danielle like Nisi's texting me again about the show. So, yes.
Oh my God.
All right, Danielle, you want to start with the topics?
Yes, I do. As soon as I pull them up here. Okay. So the first topic is, we want to talk about Drea and her new baby. That's a blessing. We want to first say that. It's a blessing. All babies are blessings. However, for anyone who's in the chat that's watching, Drea was a basketball mom or basketball wife? Basketball wife. However, I heard she does have a son that's around 21 years old, who is 1 year younger than the man she's having this baby with. So the question at hand is, does the age gap matter? I think we should take it from two different perspectives. If you were a parent, and if you
What's
were,
the age gap? Do you know the age gap?
it's like 20 years. She's in
He's
her 40s,
22. He's
isn't she?
22. He's 22. She's
She's
38.
39. She's
Oh,
39.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Okay. So what's the two
So
perspectives?
I think two good perspectives is if you would date that age gap, and then if we're a parent, would you be like, would you have approval of that?
Okay. I don't want to go first.
Okay. Everyone has to go. So we'll just go. We'll start with LT.
Okay. Sure. So would I date that young? No. And the reason I wouldn't date that young simply is because there's seasons. Like, there's things that I've experienced that he may not have experienced yet. There's some things I'm looking for, a level of maturity I'm looking for. I'm not saying that 22-year-olds cannot be mature, but for where I am at 49, that's not going to work. If my child, I have two girls, so the likelihood of them bringing somebody home older than them, that's a possibility. I just still think, again, there's that gap. And people may not think that gap is important, but even with my ex-husband and I, there was 9 years between us, and there was still a lot that he had already done that I had not done. And so the experience of it, trying to get into it, it was a challenge, and I know to each his own. I just think I think that's just a hard pill to swallow. If I had a son and he said, Mom, this is who I'm talking to, and she and I were classmates, I got a problem with that because number one, you know better. And I know people say you can't help who you love, but you also know when that just, like, what is your purpose? And I'm not judging her. I also know she was a football wife. So I was trying to figure out how basketball wife thing came in. So I did a little research this morning because that question came up earlier. And it's sad because it makes her look like an opportunist, even if she's not. It's just the appearance of it. And people can say, oh, you can't worry about other people's opinions and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, you're raising a child. And this child has to come up and be able to say, hey, I'm proud of my mom and my dad. What does that really look like? And how did that even come to be? Like, where were you even at? They're not even in the same circle to even connect. I guess that was my issue. I couldn't figure out how they even connected. He's 22, she's 39. You're not even in the same circle unless you're just sitting around the NBA looking for your next person. I just didn't
Well,
understand how that worked.
I think
So
I think maybe I think I read that someone introduced her to him, another young man. But I'll go ahead and go since I'm talking. I do agree. I think that it is strange. I don't want to date an older man. And I also wouldn't date a younger man. I've tried to go to the movies one time with an older man, and I felt like it was my father because I was a little late. But
How old was he?
it was that man from the Alumni Association. I can't remember. Maybe like 10 years older. This was
Okay.
when I first got to Atlanta, and it was just like the feeling that I got was like, you feeling like parental right now. But I think that they probably could be in the same circle just because they're celebrities, and we don't really know this young rookie. I guess he's a rookie. But she did say that she wanted another child, and it sounded like she wanted a love child. So I think that's what she got. Tasha, do you want to tap in?
I mean, I kind of promote I feel that age is nothing but a number. So I'm okay with it. But he is 22, my child's 18. So when you look at it that way, from a dating standpoint, I'm okay with it. I'm thinking maybe it's just something that happened. It wasn't something planned, I'm hoping. And here we are. She fell in love, or she thought she was in love with this baby. She was having a good time. And now she's somebody's mama again. That's what I'm hoping for. But I mean, it's her business at the end of the day. But Drea has quite the reputation. So I think that's important to remember. Like, I don't want to paint her as I don't feel like women should be painted as, I guess, a whore because they sleep with a lot of people, because those men are also sleeping with a lot of people. So I personally feel like that means everybody's just doing what they want to do.
Well, we don't know who she's sleeping with now.
No, that's what I'm saying is I don't want to label her as that, but she has quite the reputation. Does that make sense? So with that, I don't really know. With her, I'm not surprised at all with Drea, but I wish her and this baby, a lot. But I wish them the best. But I was looking in the comments, and Toya made a good point. This was kind of the Lala Anthony when she was dating Mello thing. So the question is, how long will it last? Is it going to last? Because that 22-year-old baby is not a man yet. So he hasn't been through anything. So who up next? Because LT done slid out on us.
I'll go next. So
Okay.
I kind of related to my situation a little bit, even though me and my husband are only a year apart. We got married at 18. So we've been married almost 12 years. So I feel like it's definitely hard. And yeah, that age gap is a big one. But I'm also with you, Tasha, like to each his own. If it works for her, it works for her. And I definitely wish well for the baby as well.
I want to jump in real quick. I think that maybe playing devil's advocate here. I don't think she's looking for a relationship. I don't think that's what this girl's looking for. Okay. I think that she wanted a love child. And I will say at one point I was almost willing to settle for a love child as well.
But she has a child. So how do you want a love child?
She wanted another baby. Go ahead, Nisi, because you haven't spoken.
I do wish her well. I wish the baby well, of course. It's never about the kids to me. Just like Tasha was saying, speaking off her history and what she's known for. In my opinion, it was definitely given a money grab. She got this young boy who just got in the NBA. He has not been there long. He's only 22 years old, but that's just my 2 cents.
Well, need to be a shoe. What they do?
Well, me personally, I don't date younger. I date older. So I couldn't do no 22-year-old. I mean, my son's 26 and I got an 18-year-old. So it'll be just like I'm raising my son again. But, I date before I got older, 45. I date, I would date older men. You know what I'm saying? 10 years for me is fine. I'll date 10 years. But now that I'm older, 10 years will be 59. That's too old for me because I'm not trying to bury another husband. I've done that before, so I'm not trying to do that again.
Yeah, real quick, Anita. Danielle, can you try to bring LT in? I can't bring her in. I'm sorry, Anita. Go ahead. Talk to me about that. I actually gonna jump in and ask you a question, and then everyone can answer. I know some of you are married, some of us are not. Some of us are in relationships, though. So I understand if you don't want to answer this question. So, how is it like dating a man that old?
I love it. They're mature. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
that's like somebody's granddaddy. If you're 45, that means they're 55.
What I was saying, I said I'm 45 now. When I was older, like younger, 35, I might have dated somebody in their 40s. But right now, 59, I'm not trying to change no pamper. Okay.
Well, at 59, Anita, don't nobody got Pampers. Okay.
Hey, I know some. If
Okay,
they took care of
maybe.
themselves when they was, younger, they probably have Pampers now. But what I'm saying is, no offense to nobody that's 59. You know what I'm saying? Let's tell you
not our target audience. Ain't nobody up here watching us that's 59. So,
yes, there are some people.
In years to be, this is going to be on the internet in years to be.
Exactly, Anita.
So we got to look at that. But anyway, 59 is not old. However, what I was saying, me personally, to be honest with y'all, 59, somebody came to me 59 right now and they're athletic and they, take care of themselves and they look good. I holler for real because I like the older men. I love it. I just don't want nobody that's half dead. You know what I'm saying? If they physically shape, I can do that.
Okay, Anita. Thank you. Because you have touched on death several times.
I prefer the younger. I prefer the younger. I can't
Can you share, Tasha? Can you share what one of your clients said about younger men? You shared it with me one time.
Oh, yes. So I had a client. I'm a personal trainer. So shout out to my client. She was 66. She was 66. She dates younger. And so she dates younger by 10 years or more, like 8 to 10. And she said, or even 20. And she said the reason being is because older men, and sorry for the men out there if this touches something that makes you feel a little insecure. Hey, Addie girl. Okay, so for the older men have a tendency to let themselves go.
Oh my gosh.
Whereas women, we have a tendency to turn it all the way up and around. Like we lose a little bit of weight. We turn, you've seen them pictures out there where 40 is the new 30 and 50 becomes a new, and then I seen some 60-year-old women, y'all, baby.
Yes,
If this is what
good.
60 looks like, I'm trying to get there. So it becomes a reverse situation. The men get the tummies, they let themselves go. They just don't do the same thing. Whereas the younger men, they're younger, and I'm gonna be very honest, and this is after dark at this point. The younger men are, they're willing to have more sex. The older men
what's the only thing I like?
Okay, Anita.
Older men, they're not gonna have sex like I'm 45. I'll be ready to do it every day. But
okay.
I'm just saying. So that's, you told me to tell the story. So that's
no. I think I'm not an advocate of either or. I think that I'm trying to get like a full full perspective. Like maybe that's what Drea feels.
So to be very honest, with my past situations, everybody's been younger than me. I'm currently dating younger before I dated younger. And so, I mean, that's just something that I prefer currently. And I'm just not really sure how Anita does it.
I'm saying I have dated younger, here lately within the past year. Okay. I've dated younger, and I've liked my younger, but I haven't dated older in a while, but
okay. Well, we can catch Addie up with a question since she popped in at the perfect
right. I was like,
so we'll double the question. Danielle, you want to give her the Drea question, and then we can tell her what the last part of it was.
Sure. Hey, Addie, good to see you. Glad you made it, girl. The first question. Too. The first question. Hopefully, this little session will make your day. The first question is about Drea. She's pregnant. We want to get your perspective on how you would feel as a parent, and then if you would date older or younger, with that age gap.
Okay. Well, I was trying to figure out, isn't her son the same age?
He's about a year younger. Yes, you're right on. Okay. You're right on track.
Right. All right. I was a little like, that's a little disturbing. I didn't really know what to say. How does your son feel? I don't know.
Yeah.
For me though, definitely not younger. It would definitely be older. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think I'm wise beyond my years, and it just don't work out for me. It just don't. It do not.
Yeah, I think that it may also have something to do with like what phase of life you're in. So you're looking to like want to settle down. A younger man, younger than me.
So
a younger man younger than me don't want to settle down.
Comments on Wheat. She said Anita wants a silver fox.
She does. Silver foxes are handsome.
Yeah, my screen won't move, so you'll have to let everybody in.
How many more are there? Oh,
Wanda's
going to come back in. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do we want to go to the next question?
Yes, let's roll.
Yeah.
Okay. You have it up, or I'm the question person tonight?
I mean,
okay, you're not ready. Okay. So the second topic is this is what the topic says. Would you prefer a hustler or a corporate America man? And I don't really know what hustler, the definition of.
I can give it.
It's giving drug dealer.
Yes. It's giving a hustler, like like they talk
the
about,
plug.
like in Rick Ross songs, Meek Mill,
a drug dealer, a pharmacist for the streets,
someone who chooses all different ways to bring in income.
You can be corporate America and do that
illegally, though. Just versatile revenues of income. I think that's Right.
You could be one, but you cannot be just corporate if you got versatile income.
Okay, well, now that we've set the benchmarking foundation, whoever wants to jump in first, feel free.
Go backwards, if anything. Go backwards. So, like, Nisi, you can go first, or Addie.
Okay, you want to go first? Are you prepared?
Oh, you can go. All right. Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead,
fine.
DC. It's your world. Go ahead.
I am married, but if I was single, at this stage of life, this age, no, I would not be interested in a hustler. I have children, I have a business, I have a reputation, I have way too much to lose to be dating somebody in the streets and trying to hold them down while they're in prison. We're not doing none of that. But when I was younger, like early 20s, yeah, I did a couple hustlers. I did.
I was about to say, talk to me about young Niecy. Would young Niecy prefer the hustler or the corporate?
Oh, yeah, Niecy was, she was probably dating a hustler too. But that was a long time ago. We talking about over 13 years ago.
It's okay, girl. This is Planet Fitness. This is no judgment zone. I was just asking. Okay, LT, what you got? LT, which one is it?
I would prefer hustler, not the drug dealing version, because I feel like there's a skill set there. Let's just be honest.
Pharmacist.
I don't want the pharmacist. I want a hustler who knows how to go out and get it. Like, if one thing happens, because corporate, let's be honest, corporate isn't as stable as it used to be. And so I need you to be able to pivot. So if something happens, I don't need you to be like, I don't know what to do. No, get out there and let's grind, let's get it. And so I would like for you to take that skill set you have and use it in a more positive direction. So I would prefer a hustler in the sense of let's go get this money in a legal way, because you can hustle, you can have a lawn care service, you can have all these other things
Right,
going on,
LT.
and it's legal. So I want you to legally hustle. Thank you for the Emmy. I got
So I want to tag on to that because y'all know I call myself the mother hustler. So to me, hustler, it doesn't necessarily mean in an illegal way. Now, if we're talking illegal, then no. But if we're talking like me, then absolutely. And again, I am married, and I feel like my husband is a hustler as well. Like LT said, the corporate world, especially COVID, that taught us that the corporate world might not be always there. So although that's great, and although it might be stable, them hustling skills is going to get you where you need to
go. Agreed.
Who want to jump in? Okay, I'll go. So I would like to, I guess, piggyback on that. I think it was my question, actually, because I've determined that I think the question really is, which one are you also more attracted to? And I didn't put all of that in that question, so that's my bad, but I can answer it. I'm more attracted to the hustler. I'm not attracted to the corporate man. I live in the corporate world. That is not something that's for me. I am for the man that when rent or mortgage is due and times is looking a little tight, he gonna go out there and figure it out. Does that mean he sold his shoes? He decided to flip something in the closet and I don't know about. That's your business as long as you keep the lights on and you take care of me and mine. I don't want you to go to jail. I didn't say that. Okay. I didn't say that, and I do not promote that, but I need the man that's going to go hard and he's going to work 7 jobs, because that's how my dad was not a corporate man. He's more of a blue collar. Our dad was a blue collar man, but he worked crazy hours and we wanted for nothing. And that's because he made it happen and we lived a very nice life. But that's because he had the hustling spirit in him. And that's what I'm talking about. It's different. The man that wants the 9 to 5, or the man that's like, because let me tell y'all something. I dated this guy in college. I know he's probably watching. Or maybe not, but he probably will. He does follow the page, so I will clip this up so that he can see this. Because one time I did this last season. You remember I clipped it up, and somebody came at me on some. Were you talking about me? I was, but this in particular, I was talking about a guy I dated in college, and he just, once we graduated, everyone that went to school with me probably knows this person. But once we graduated, we moved and we were together, with hopes to live a life together, right? And then I eventually moved on, got married, things like that. But he had some issues with his job. And y'all, he just was not willing to work.
What?
Calm down.
Like at all?
So he was just waiting.
I didn't know that about him.
Yes.
Not the man that said I don't listen to enough Black music.
Yeah. So he wasn't willing to work.
Y'all can tell he's ignorant.
He was just waiting for the jobs to come. And I had presented some things like, hey, y'all remember like Labor Ready? This is back in the day. Like you go to Labor Ready and go work. Now, there might not have been a lot of money, but I'm over here trying to make everything happen on my dime. And we fresh out of college, no kids, and a cat. I had a cat. His name was Shakur. Rest in peace, Shakur. Yeah. So, long story short, that's when I realized when I came home one day and he was nearly weak. He was sitting on the couch. When I left to go to work, he was sitting on the couch with his jersey on, with his basketball jersey on. I don't know what team he played for. And so when I got home, y'all, he was in the same spot with the TV on with the basketball jersey. You get what I'm saying? That kind of hit me. I'm triggered currently right now because what was you doing all that? You feel me? Like, so I'm supposed to feed the cat and you? Like, what we doing? You want nothing you go do? So that's what I meant.
Hello?
Right. Hello.
He could have been a lemonade stand, something.
Girl, pissed me off. So at that moment, I decided it was time to go to the alley. Niecy, don't judge me. Up. I went to the alley and I spent a good on time every Wednesday at the alley.
I'm not judging you because I had some
and them
alley
wings.
nights, just not
Them
after
wings.
30.
Them wings.
The alley was my medicine when I did all that. So, anyways, look, my battery's dying. Y'all go keep talking. I'm gonna be right back.
Go ahead. Who wants to go next?
Well, I'm just wondering, can there not be like a corporate hustler?
There can. That's my
hustler.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, Addie, we on the same page. I'm with you there.
I feel like there's, there could be a little bit of both. Because, like, truly, like, you could very much be in the corporate world, but you could also be hustling. Like, you could be an entrepreneur. You could be in so many other projects. So,
he just got that grind spirit about him.
You know, the little bit of balance. Like, you still got the hunger. And you'll still be willing to go out and get it. And it ain't just a corporate job.
Yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily want the pharmacist up the street because I'm scary like that. But I would prefer, I always prefer a clean man that looks like he's going into an office.
Right.
I don't know why, but I just feel stability there.
I mean, you don't want to be getting to collect calls. I get it. You don't
I like to know that there's a check.
Collect calls.
Right.
You still have those?
I get it.
Yeah, when you go to jail.
I'm not, I think that's another piece. I'm scary now, but I wasn't scary when I was young. Was you scary when you were young, Danielle?
Was not scary.
Yes, I'm scary now.
Let me tell you, I should probably be in jail. I was not scared when I was young. And my mama is watching. I was not scared when I was young. It didn't cross my mind. It just did. I was just in the last luxury. Addie, would you agree? I mean,
let me tell you, because
think about the things.
I am delivered.
Right. Think about. I need you to put a little heart in the comments if you know that you did something when you was young that you was not scared about. Y'all can put your own hearts if you want.
Y'all put a couple hearts for me then.
LaWanda, are you talking? Are you on me?
Put a few hearts up there for me.
You putting a half a heart? You was half scared, half bold. What's happening? What's going on?
I'm holding the phone with the other side because it just is what it is. But no, you could put a few hearts if you would like.
Okay, Mom's not.
My mom said she won't scare neither. That's what I got it from. I get it from my mama. We not
on my
scared.
mama. On my
yes, mom. Yes, mom.
All right, who else needs to answer this question? I apologize.
If you want to answer.
You don't have to. We've kind of made this an open forum, so we can definitely move on to the next if y'all want.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll take that as nobody wants to answer it. Okay, so the next topic is self-care, what we hate and love. I don't know, Tasha will need to expand on that for y'all.
So with self-care, everybody's my cousin says she is not scared either. So there's a couple of not scared people. I'm here for it. For self-care, what you hate and what you love. So y'all already know what I do for a living. Boom. And so of course I promote self-care. But can we talk about the realistic things that we just know we can't get to?
Like what?
What you mean, like what? Like, okay, the fact that I worked out twice today, that's cool. But I mean, that might be your vice right now. You might be like, bruh, like I can't I know Danielle, we didn't had this conversation. So like I want to hear the opposite side of it. I don't want us to glorify self-care and talk about, ladies, I want you to really like let's, be about
Okay, I'll
your
go first.
see. Here we go.
I don't do self-care well together, collectively. I'd
You
have
don't
to
do it
roll.
well?
No, I have to roll out a self-care plan. I'm very strategic because I
A
know I can't do
self-care
it.
plan?
Yeah, I
I
can't do it
wonder
all
if
at
that's a
once.
cancer thing.
I can't drink water and eat
Oh,
well.
there's so many cancers on this call.
Please hold the laughs. I cannot eat a well-balanced meal and drink 60 or 120 ounces of water, as well as get on a Peloton and go for a walk outside, read the Bible,
That's too
and
much.
do a devotional in the morning, as well as meditate. So I have to slow roll. I'm in phase 2 of the self-care plan right now, which is start walking. That's it. That's it. And then maybe next week I will try to drink more water. And it has to build. That's for me. I can't do the drink
Step
water
by step.
business. That's not easy.
Who's next? And I just want to say there's 3 cancers on this call. This is ridiculous.
Hello. Hi, you guys.
Okay, all right. Okay, who's next? Brittany, you go next. I'm gonna just handpick folks. Britt, what you think about what self-care you just can't get with?
So I honestly think, if I'm answering the question correctly, I think I don't like the tabooness of it. So I feel like a lot of people think self-care is something that in reality is not. Is to each his own, right? So for me, self-care would look completely different than it does to you. So to me, my therapist once told me something like, what can you do that you could do absolutely free? That would be considered your self-care, right? So whereas I looked at self-care as like going to get my nails done, making sure my hair is done. Like in reality, that's not necessarily self-care. That's what you do for yourself or whatever, but that's not considered self-care.
Like
So
upkeep.
right. And that's something that you should do already, not considered self-care. So I don't like the tabooness of self-care, and I do what I want to do when it comes to self-care.
Anita.
That makes sense.
Um, what I would do without?
No, so like what I don't know, I forgot the question. What about self-care don't you like? What don't you get enough of? What do you want to do?
Well, I
Yeah.
guess self-care would be like exercising. I probably need to, do more of it, I guess. I mean, I do some, but maybe there's something I need to do a little bit more.
Okay. That's fair.
That's it.
Nisi.
I'm on both sides. Like I'm like trying to do the things. I feel like Danny. Like I'm trying to do the things, but it's a lot to take in at one time, especially when you add in, you know, husbands and businesses, significant others and kids. It's a lot. So I just whatever it looks like for me, whatever I can do, I'll do, and what I can't do, I'm at peace with that. So I don't stress myself out about it. If self-care is drinking my fruit and veggie juice and I feel a little bit better, have more energy, then that's enough. But I don't stress myself about it no more.
I love that a lot. LT.
I think with Britt, when she says self-care looks different for everybody, and I really think that's where I'm at with that phase of like, just being able to stop and just for 10 minutes, it's about me. No matter what that is, just sitting in the dark sometimes, just having that peace is where I'm at. When it comes to self-care, I'm getting better at exercising and things of that nature, trying to do it and texting and saying, hey, I did it today. So for me, that's kind of where I just need my mind at peace. So that self-care looks a little different than what other people right now where I live at. The best self-care medicine, there's a park. So I can walk over there to the pagoda and just kind of stand out there and look at the fountain. And that's peaceful to me. So that brings me balance in what I need. So
Adama.
Honestly, like how she picking back off of Brittany and LT, how y'all talk about like self care and the taboo. I think there's self care in society, and then literally self care is what nourishes you and what pours into you and what grounds you. So whatever that looks like for you. So I know me recently, I have not been doing very good at that at all. And definitely trying to get back in the place of actually practicing that because I've been ripping and running and doing all the things, but not doing the things such as going on the nature walks or going to the beach or, binge watching the show and just completely putting my phone on D&D where y'all can't even go through my calls, because y'all love to do that. But I'm just saying. But honestly, yeah, you all the time. But honestly, though, it's really about how you ground yourself, whether that's meditating, whether that's praying, and what that looks like for you. So I know for me recently, I definitely need to get back to that.
Is that it? So the reason I threw that one in there before we get back to trash talk was because I think it's a good platform to kind of we do have very mixed reviews in terms of women and men. So I think it's always good to kind of talk about what we don't like or what we are struggling with, because people tend to come on podcasts like they say where they from, they say their businesses, and this is ladies' night. So you are supposed to give us the real you, and that's why I think each one of you said this, why you kind of like our show, is because we're real. We talk, for those that don't know, and for our newcomers and those that are going to listen to the show later on, this was literally created because this is us on FaceTime all day long. My sister lives hours away. So if I'm not talking to one of y'all beautiful ladies, you can best bet I'm either on the phone with the boo thing or I'm on the phone with her. And we don't talk half the time. It just might be posted up and we talk about work and everything else. But that's how this comes up. And so we brought it to life and we brought it to the screen. So that's that. So we have 2 more questions that might take us over. If at any point our beautiful panelists wants to drop off, you can kick it with us. But we do have 2 more nice and juicy questions that we'll start off with. Did anybody, and this can be a free for all, because everyone may not have experienced this. Did anybody watch that Wendy Williams documentary?
I haven't.
I watched that.
Oh, good. Brittany, did you watch it? Did anybody see clips?
I saw clips.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. We can still
I
go.
seen maybe one clip with she calls herself Angela now, but she used to be Black China. That's the only one I saw.
Yes. Yes. So just to give you a recap, I watched it. At first I was trying not to watch it, to be very honest, because the clips by itself are a bit much.
They're very sad. Yeah, it's very disheartening.
Yeah, we have a family member that's struggling with dementia. So I think it was a little too close to home for me. But I decided on one really bad day at work that I needed something to lock in. So I put it on. So I don't know if anyone has 2 cents about it. Danielle, do you want to start? Somebody made, and then you can base it off of your clips of what you saw. Do you think that this was something that should have been aired? Do you feel like she can be fixed at all? Like if that's a thing? I know, because apparently it's induced, right? It's alcohol induced dementia.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. I know I got some medical people up here. I don't know nothing. I'm a trainer. I work in the branding world. I don't know nothing. Okay, let's put that out there because I can already see my 2 people over here. They like, no, that's not how that works. I don't know nothing. So Dia, what you got?
So basically, the docu-series, or I guess you can consider it that, because it was several episodes, it should have never been aired. It should have never been filmed. It really puts her in a poor light. However, I do think that you reap what you sow, and Wendy Williams has talked very slam trash about many people. So I think that you have to be careful with that. I'm not saying like she gets what she gets, but unfortunately, this has been brought upon her. It didn't have to be. She's gone through a lot of things. She's beat addictions before, so it's not like she hasn't bounced back previously, but she's not bouncing back from this. Probably because of the guardianship that she's under. I don't know if she's still going to be under it after the show has been aired, because I've been told that I heard that The Guardian is suing Lifetime because of how she was portrayed. But I felt really bad for her. I feel like it's really sad to see such an icon, because even though she talks trash, she's still an icon and she's going to be a legend. It is what it is. In the mass communications world, I think that is sad. And her children or whoever okayed this, they should have never let it air. And it showed the people that were truly out for money, because she does have a lot of money. And she's just literally sitting in her room with thousands of stacks. And that was on air. Even though I think that was like planned as well. But it's just sad. And you see like her management is not treating her well. Her publicist, who claims she's a publicist, but I do think she does have some people in her life, like her niece and her son, who are trying, but they can't do a lot because of the guardianship over her. So for those who haven't watched, I think you should watch it. I try not to steer like clear of sad things because I am a Cancer. I'm sad anyway. So I'm emotional. I like to process things and I don't mind the feelings. But if you have like a family member, our grandmother has dementia. So this isn't like this is like frontal dementia, I think they said. So it is alcohol induced. But I don't steer clear from stuff like that because unfortunately it is my real life.
Anybody got anything else to say?
I don't really want to see the demise of anybody, like especially us, our Black people on the internet, or like I just don't think, like you said, like I just don't think it should be aired. But people have ulterior motives; they're just trying to make money, and maybe it is one of those things, like we can think one thing, but God has other opinions. So.
True.
For whatever reason, this was gonna be what it's gonna be. But I haven't seen it. I did see some clips, and it was about the guardianship, and they weren't treating her well, and things like that. I am curious how that got around, like her children, and I know she's not with her husband anymore, but I don't know.
And just so that piece about the children piece, her son. Apparently, they have a relationship where she tells him, Daniel, you can jump in because I might be wrong. She basically lets him spend as much as he wants. And so, like, for example, he had a birthday party, I think it was, where this all started. And he spent, I think it was $100,000. Well, it flagged.
Oh, no, party?
Yeah, was it Wells Fargo?
Yeah, it was over 100. It was like 200. But the nephew said that it was technically Wendy who spent the money. So it wasn't like he spent it without her knowing. I think
that's what started the guardianship. Yeah. So that's when Wells Fargo flagged it, saying
they froze all her money.
Right, they froze all her money, and that's when they pulled in a guardianship, saying that basically, like, because her son was a part of, I guess, the account or had power of attorney or something. Yeah. So they took actions, but it was
like he was misspending her funds.
So they said, but they said it was really her. It wasn't.
Yeah, I think that like our reality is not hers. So I mean, if Wendy Williams is rich as she is, I mean, if I was Wendy and my son wanted a birthday party, maybe not 100, maybe 50, but I mean, like her budget is different from mine.
True.
Like her reality is different.
Very true. Anybody else?
And the resources and the money. You're right.
So I didn't
honestly,
watch it, but my grandmother did pass away from dementia, and hers was actually, I guess, like she stopped working, so it was like, I don't know. Actually, I lied. She had a stroke, and that's how it was. That's how it started. And just watching her deteriorate, she had it for 15 years. So watching her deteriorate was really sad. That's not why I haven't watched it. I just haven't watched it. So I can kind of relate to that though, a little bit. I guess it would be sad. But I mean, hey, like everybody said, if she's actually the one spending the money, I mean, she might be looking at it like, what else am I going to do? It's going to go to him when I'm gone anyway. Might as well be able to watch his happiness with it, I would think.
Yeah. Adama, were you going to say something?
I know for me, so growing up, both my now late maternal and paternal grandmothers, they both actually suffered from it. And I was younger, so I didn't really understand. Like one day I would be around them, and then, they'll seem like they were with it, and then the next minute, they were screaming, and it was very hard for me to process that in being younger. But now, especially in the field of work I'm in, I see it often, and unfortunately, it's hard for families to see them in that light, especially if it's, of course, in this case, like how Wendy was on. She had her show, and she had the Wendy Williams show, and and how she was so familiar with everyone. So to see her in that light, and then to see her in some of the clips that I was able to see in this light, it is a huge shift, and it's hard for people to understand it because they think that it's temporary, or maybe if you familiarize them with things that they've been around that they're gonna come back. And the unfortunate thing is they don't. And it's hard for them. It's a hard pill for them to swallow. Um, I don't I don't think that that should have been aired. Especially I mean I've seen her state, but I've seen even other other patients whose states are very, very, very debilitating, and it's unfortunate. I think that should have been private, and maybe if it was something for as of a memory for them to be able to reflect on her on, that would have been more appropriate. But not something that now it's now broadcasted and everyone around the world has access to it. I don't agree with that at all.
And I was also notified that Bruce Willis has the same form of dementia. It is alcohol induced, but I didn't know that Bruce Willis even had dementia, this type specifically. But I thought that was interesting because we didn't hear about that, but we did hear about Wendy Williams.
Facts. Anybody else?
They talked briefly about Bruce Willis, and the thing was they just wanted, but it was handled very differently. The family made a statement, they talked about it, and when you go on his Instagram page, the family posts pictures of him not deteriorating, but just happy times as much as they can post. Wendy Williams' niece was on Good Morning America a few weeks ago before this documentary aired, and they were talking with her, and she expressed how she talks to her aunt, but she doesn't know where she is, so it's like when you think about the different pieces and parts to this, the people who want what's best for her and the people who, like you said, there for the money, it's really, really hard in that situation. But I also liken this to like the R. Kellys and everybody else's, and the reason I put it in that framework is when people benefit from you, they don't really speak up. They're not going to say a whole lot as long as they can continue to benefit from you. And so sometimes your illness, your vice, whatever it is, benefits them. And they're only going to do but so much. And so
That's a
it
word.
is.
Yeah.
So it
Because they're
is
misusing the funds. I see it all the
exactly.
time, and it's so
And
sad.
so yeah, and so it is sad to see Wendy have this. I think two people come to mind: Judge Mathis and Tabitha Brown. When they talked about about her as a person, and like Niecy said, you don't want to see the demise of anybody. You know, but whatever you measure out, you got to be careful because that measure may have to come back. And so I wish her well, and I hate to see her in that light. I just think that the people around her right now, they think it's for good, but it's still money involved. And even if they went into it with good intention, somebody should have pulled Lifetime on it.
Agreed.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like they
because
might have thought it
I'm
was going
sure
to
they
be a
had a
good thing.
viewing.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure
might have
there's
thought it was
a
going to be
viewing
good,
or
but
I'm sure there's a
Yeah,
contract
I'm sure they seen the viewing before they aired it. Like,
They
that
don't care.
they
and
don't.
This is the
she
same internet
consented.
that showed that man, George Floyd, died on the internet.
True.
The first thing people do is
you're
pull out
right.
their phones and record stuff. This is
True.
the same place
Yep.
watching this stuff, and it's entertainment. They don't give a damn
That's true.
about.
They
I'm sorry,
don't.
cuz, but they don't give a
They
darn
care
about
about recording it, putting it on live for the views, the world star
exactly,
moment, or
and being the
whatever it
first one
is.
to air
Like,
it. When Kobe Bryant died, the police officer had recorded the
Yep.
helicopter crash,
right.
the whole
And
scene or
sent it to
whatever.
TMZ. Yep.
And the wife found out online. Like, people do not care. They just want to air it out and they want to be the first one to do it.
Yeah.
They
I
all
mean,
about this money.
you the last one, boo. You got something to say?
I ain't talked in a while, but anyway, now uh Wendy I don't think I talked the last time neither, but anyway, I'm good. Me personally, like Wendy Williams, I think it should have been aired out. She looked a hot mess. I know she has Graves' disease. Her eyes were bulging out and everything. And I'm like, Lord bless her heart. And then she was snapping at her assistant, or somebody was trying to do something. She was snapping at them. And I mean, it just make her look so bad. You know what I'm saying? We know Wendy, she was always that one that was raw and uncut. She didn't care. She let everybody just in her life and knowing what's going on. But I just think this part, like this, being with dementia and everything, I think that's like it's a little intimate moment that she should have just kept to herself. Whoever agreed to do that should be, should go to hell.
You could tell when you were watching it. Sorry to cut you off. You could tell when you were watching it that's not what Lifetime started with. That wasn't the purpose of the show. And you could tell that the producer and everything would ask the manager, like, so how long is she gonna be like this? Like, you would hear them ask him, and he's like, yeah, I don't know.
Asking these questions.
Yeah, so there was points where, like, but back to what Niecy said, it's kind of a shut case type of situation. They was gonna put it out there regardless. They don't care. Then they knew that this was where the numbers was gonna run.
Yeah, that's all they about, the money.
Yeah,
the exposure.
Sad.
So we're gonna end this with a very good question. I saved the best for last. For those that did not or did, we're gonna start. It's a 2-part question. And it's an open brawl. You answer the question. Everybody gets to answer. Here it is. Love is blind. So.
Hold on. We don't have time for this question, really, because I know y'all really want to dive into this.
We
maybe
do.
That's the second part. Maybe that's the second part. Because we could go on for another 30 minutes. I haven't had dinner yet.
I haven't either. We can't do 30. We can do 10, 15.
Okay.
We just wrap it up. We got time. We're going to
We
do it
have
right
10
now.
minutes.
Anybody who hasn't seen it, Love is Blind, you talk to somebody in a pod, you pick a man or a woman, and ideally you're supposed to marry them. Whatever. So we've all seen the recent Love is Blinds. Some of us may have seen the recent Love is Blinds. The first question is, would you go on the Love is Blind show? That is the first question. I don't need to know nothing about how you feel about AD and Clay. I just want to know, would you go on Love is Blind? We will start with Anita.
No, because I don't know what Love and Blind is.
Danielle, tell Anita what Love is Blind is.
Love is Blind is a dating show where they pick people, random people, I guess. They get vetted, supposedly, and you are in pods for hours at a time. So think of it as you sitting on one side of your bedroom door and someone sitting on the other side. You don't get to see them, and you're only talking to them through the door.
When you said hours, my ADHD went up. No, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, great.
All right, next. Adama, would you go on Love is Blind? I'm going to be honest.
Fun fact.
I knew this answer.
I am. Fun fact. I actually applied for it.
You did.
What?
She sent me the screenshot.
Oh my God.
It was like the first couple months of our relationship.
It was actually quite funny.
So you would.
But I was too late, and I just never tried again.
So if I may ask, since this is fresh. This is hot off the press. So since you're a person who applied, what made you apply?
In all honesty, the dating world currently has manure in it. I don't know.
Say that again. Any single
no
man
out there,
hit me up.
So I was like, you know what? At this point, might as well just go on.
What the hell?
Why not? It's just not working.
So we're gonna run it to the married girl. If you were not married, would you go on Love is Blind? Ideally, keep in mind, Love is Blind is a place where you're supposed to find someone you love and without looking at them. Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, we both.
No,
married.
go ahead.
I don't know if I would do
the married girls.
I don't know if I would do Love is Blind. I would probably do Married at First Sight. I would probably do something else. But I don't know. And the reason I say this because you spend so much time talking to them, and then whatever they describe, how they look to you, whatever they can do is allowed, whatever is not allowed. And then you see them. I don't know if I would be okay with seeing them, and then you don't look how I imagine. That would be a problem. If that makes me shallow, then you have your own opinion about it. You still need to be attracted to this person. You still need to be attracted to them. So I just don't know how I would feel about if I've met them and I had this vibe with you. I would feel catfish.
Yeah, because like if you would have had somebody like if I would have did the show and had Ken, I would have walked off.
See, and I didn't watch it, so I can't even speak on it. But I would do a dating show though. I would have.
Okay, Brittany.
So I'm kind of with Adama. I think maybe it's that cancer in me.
I don't know. We got one more cancer to go. She has an answer, so we don't know. It might not be.
if I wasn't married, I would. However, I also like it's the connection part, right? Like I love conversation. So that part is very important to me. But I also know there's other people that have decided that when they saw them, they walked off. So I have an option. It's not like I'm locked in. So
So you figure you play along, and if you don't want to play, you'll just
right. And if the attraction, if the physical is not there, then
So let's go back to Anita real quick, because Anita, LT, we're gonna get to you and then Danielle. So Anita, the thought process of this, since you've never seen the show, which
I think this is great, but can we do one episode just on this? Because we're not diving into it.
That's good. Real quick, Anita. So could you fall in love with somebody that you never seen before?
Possible.
Oh, okay. Okay. You guys are just so optimistic. LT, your go.
I'm with Niecy. Because my face is not even going to hide the fact that this didn't go how it would be a whole hitch moment. I saw this going completely different in my mind. I'm just gonna be, and I don't know that I don't know that I could front that hard, because like Niecy said, you want to have conversation, but you want somebody physically attractive. And I'm just being honest about me. I do, my eyes and everything come together. So I might would have been the person that walked away. And I mean, judge me if you want to, but I probably would have walked away if it wasn't what I thought. And if you didn't know how to describe yourself, just say, I don't know how to describe myself. At least then I'm not trying to picture something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to tell, like if you can't do it, then we both be surprised. But don't tell me you look like Denzel, and then when I turn around, it's something else. I'm just
like
saying.
a boogie monster.
Listen, because that happened. That happened on the season. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
So Danielle's going to answer the last question. We will have a part 2 just about Clay and AD. So for my ladies up here, we can bring you back, but you only can come back if you watch Clay and you're gonna have a couple shows. You got 2 weeks.
Right. And the reunion is tomorrow, you guys.
The reunion is tomorrow. So you can watch the whole season. Nita, I'll send you the link. You can watch the whole season. You can come back and we can really chat it up. And anybody that was supposed to come back on our second round, you're gonna have to hold it for another month, because we doing every 2 weeks. But Danielle, close us up with how would you do Love is Blind?
I wouldn't do Love is Blind because they have several lawsuits, and particularly the one that said they don't feed them. So that doesn't sit well with me.
Brittany's face.
What the?
What? You're gonna have
because I really feel like food should be included. What do you mean? How are you gonna lock me away and not feed
Did you watch
and then want me to meet? I haven't watched the new season, but I'm a little far behind. But I have watched it. I mean, I guess you're right. I haven't seen them. Yeah. Okay.
This season,
they don't feed them.
This season they're showing food, because last season people were held hostage, and that was what was in the lawsuit.
No food.
That makes perfect sense. They're making these choices and decisions because
they're
hungry. They
have low oxygen. They can't process
the environment to make good decisions. So
I like you, so we can go home. Like, hello.
That too. I wouldn't do it.
Why they been pushing Love is Blind. Look, you about to have me go on a frenzy when we get off here, but it's okay.
I would do Married at First Sight, and I had a friend that was going to submit me at one point. She's very much like a little sister, so I guess she was annoyed that I was single, and she wanted to.
I do have the Love is Blind glass.
Tasha does have Tasha got a Love is Blind.
It's the glass that be drinking out of
you really do. You just need to get the engraving.
I'm gonna catch that.
Do they have theirs engraved?
I don't know. I don't want nothing that they got. I like to eat. I don't want to be held hostage. I'm good.
Changing my answer.
Yeah, now nobody wants to do it.
I mean, there are other problems. Like they don't vet.
You do
they don't vet the people.
Yeah, because there was like a whole domestic case that happened. I remember that one too.
There was a domestic,
and that was right after I was like, whew.
Yeah, it was some domestic abuse. Some of the men didn't have jobs. So, they weren't vetted very well.
That goes back to that whole hustler question we had earlier. You know what I'm saying?
But wait, how you go
Because
on
I'm
a
a
show
corporate
trying to get a
hustler.
wife and you don't
Boom.
got no money?
See, that's my thing. Why are you on the
Why
show?
they didn't ask those questions? Because I would have. We listen.
They didn't
Remember, I
vet
saw
them.
what you need
They're
that.
expensive.
They
But
just
you
didn't
know,
vet
I
them
get
well.
So Danielle, do you know if the women know whether or not, do the women all think, I'm asking you like you part of the producing team, but do the women all think they have these men have jobs? You get
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I
think
would think that they would think that
I
they
think-
have jobs.
exactly. Common sense says I'm going on a dating show. I would hope that the man has the job.
Who is the producer
I mean,
for this?
especially
How
if
would they
marriage
pick
is
men that don't
involved.
have?
Did you forget Bartiz?
Bartiz had a
had a job?
job.
Did he
Somebody
have a
just
job?
said it.
He was a
Somebody just
trainer.
said he must have didn't have something because somebody just said example is Bartiz.
Bartiz had a job, y'all. Bartiz was a trainer, okay? I don't know
So
who he
when
was
you,
training.
That's a
So
lot
you
of
did
know,
they
when
leave?
when this show first came on, that's where Need for Speed. What is her name? Oh my gosh.
Lauren
Her and her husband, when
and
they
If you
actually
saying her
met,
Instagram for me.
right? You know, you said what? Because that's all I knew. Because that's how I follow her. But what I'm saying is that particular season was probably the best season, simply
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
think it was actually real processes. They even showed them trying to date. You know, trying to make it
Mhm.
past that point. Not just her and her husband, but the other couples. Some made it, some didn't. And some fizzled out
Yeah,
right where they
Amber
were in the
and
moment when they actually got to see each other in person. So I think that was probably the better season. And I think from there it just started, what's the word? The standard started dropping. Maybe that's
yeah.
just my own opinion.
Last
But
year was
but
better.
y'all be
Last year
forgetting
was
about Tiffany and
yeah, exactly.
y'all be
Tiffany and
forgetting.
Brett.
Yeah,
Tiffany
right.
and Brett. Tiffany and Brett
They
they're still
will.
going strong.
I mean, okay. Well,
Oop.
I don't think I would do
And
it.
there's the other couple, the guy who looks a little funny, the white guy who looks a little funny, and the black girl, or she may be Hispanic. I don't know. They're still going strong, and they have a baby. They'll have the first Love Is Blind baby. That's on the way.
They do. They do. They do.
Somebody
love
said
It
it.
does work
Batista
sometimes.
was there for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah,
And
I agree
I
with you,
low key
Victoria.
feel like
Bartista had a baby 3 months after.
What you feel like, Brett?
Exactly.
that's
Wow.
okay.
Probably the girl was probably pregnant during the show.
I mean, in
Not the
reality,
fact that he didn't have a job, but that he was there for
in
a good
reality,
time.
they're here for a good time. I think we have to remember that we're on TV.
No, you
So
cannot be here for a good time if I'm looking for my husband.
But that's
But
you
it's
on.
That's why he was so intimidated by Nancy because she was into real
Exactly.
like she was flipping home. She was gonna
But
carry
that's
that
on
out.
TV. You're trying to find
Well,
your husband on TV. That's a
yes,
thin
but
line.
I can say the same thing about me trying to find my husband online. And I might
Right.
have found him.
That's what, excuse me.
Is that right? If
Well,
I'm gonna be
at
mad,
this point,
I'm gonna be mad at the person on the other side of the phone who's swiping right. If you here for a good time and your profile says I'm here for a long time.
Well,
This
that's true.
is it.
No, but I'm saying I feel like that's the same thing as dating, right? Like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been out the game for 12 years, so I don't know.
let me tell you,
But
stay where you at.
As long as
You don't even
it's
gotta finish your sentence.
communicated.
You're wrong. You can't speak to this. It's
As
a
long as
struggle.
it's communicated, I don't think nothing's wrong with it. As long as
yeah,
it's like
dating.
you tell the person your intentions and you're open about it, then okay. But if you're just telling her one thing or you telling her one thing, you doing another, no, that's a problem. But if you're being honest about your intentions, then I don't see the
And
problem with
I
it.
also feel like, again, a lot of those shows and all of the shows like that are connected. Like, most of them are not necessarily doing it for the clout, but they're on TV. But the food part still got me because I feel like that should be a whole package. Like, what am I? I don't know.
Am I signing up
Yeah,
for it?
yeah.
I absolutely believe it's about clout too. Because Married at First Sight, I know that wasn't the question, but Married at First Sight, there was definitely a guy named Chris who was doing it for clout.
Ooh,
And yeah, who said somebody else?
ooh, Chris got under my skin. Ooh.
Yes, he was so annoying. He thought he was so funny. He really wasn't.
Me and Danielle did research on Chris.
Chris
Oh,
is
yes.
Chris
So let's
is
talk
here.
about that too on the next
Chris,
episode.
oh look, Chris lives
There's
on.
an
Chris
Atlanta
is here.
episode.
Chris was cited by my boyfriend. Actually, he only know Chris because we watched Married at First Sight. And he said the girls were all on Chris at the spaceman spot.
After what they seen.
Yep, it didn't
Chris should
matter.
be go.
Girl, like
He had on
trash.
he had on a suit. Didn't he have on a suit? He had on
Chris
the
should
suit and
like
everything.
men. Chris should like men at this point. No woman should be dating Chris.
Right.
But
Because
there's
no
always
woman
gonna
you
be somebody. It's gonna be somebody. You know, some of these girls ain't got no brain, and they gonna date him because
that's
he was
half
on
of
TV.
Atlanta.
He on TV.
Yeah.
He kept bringing about his money. He didn't want nobody to date him because he had so much money. He had
But
that old Mercedes.
see what you said, Niecy, right there? That is what girls here want. That's all they want. So he's right. He's in the right place.
That season plus all
He
my
taught a lot
money.
about God, didn't he? Well, he's supposed to be real spiritual.
Mama,
That was
one time
Somewhat.
Mom said, I was
Clay
wondering if that was your
read the
pastor. I said, no.
scripture before proposal. Let's just talk
You
about
said
that next
what?
time.
Clay did what?
Clay literally read scripture before the proposal.
Yeah, that's called spiritual manipulation.
Okay. So we have homework, everybody. For those who have not seen the show, you need to watch the show. You have 2 weeks. We've given you 2 weeks, and then we have to bury this Love is Blind. But will have a lot to discuss.
2 weeks is a long time to go.
Well, we can go a week if they with
don't
it.
worry, trust me.
I mean, I'm good. I've seen it. So
okay, y'all know what? Do any of y'all work from home? Can y'all make it back in a week? Brittany,
I don't work from home. However, after this experience, trust me, I will be there.
Anita, can you watch the show in a week?
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead on without me.
What?
Oh,
Anita, you can do it.
I got too much going on in my personal.
Well, that's hey, this self-care.
Okay, I respect your boundaries.
Okay,
I respect that.
We respect that, Anissa.
I'm not saying much tonight neither, so
we love you so much. Your presence is just such a joy. I was just hoping you could chime in, but I'm going to respect your boundaries.
Anissa, will you be?
I don't work from home. But I'm gonna have it playing in the salon. I'm salon owner, so I am gonna have it playing in there so I can at least hear it, so I can catch up. What channel does it come on?
It's Netflix. It's not a channel.
Netflix. Oh. Yeah, I'm just having playing in the salon, and I at least can hear it.
You don't need to see anything.
There is now. I think there's 12 episodes.
I
think the reunion comes out 12 to 13.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
they're very long episodes, but yeah.
LT, will you be catching up or will you be catching out?
I can catch up. And I can do sound bites.
Yes,
and
you
I
do.
always have my
just like
kids.
Risa Tisa, come on.
Listen,
Don't
and I got my
start.
kids. 21. They're like, Mama, and this is what happened. This is what happened. Great, thank you.
Well, I think we've made record time because we said we weren't going to go past 9:30, but it's 9:20. So Danielle's going to wrap us up. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming. Thank you for participating. Each and every one of your comments, your feedback, your thoughts, your prayers, and everything on our show. We appreciate all the blessings, and we appreciate your time because this is the time that you took to spend it with us. Danielle, would you like to wrap us up appropriately?
It sounded like you was on your way, so if you want to finish
a regular wrap up, I mean, that don't have anything to do.
That was the panel wrap up. Okay, this is for the crowd wrap up, the co-host.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, co-host in the chat. As usual, we love to hear your comments. If you haven't already, which I'm sure you guys already have, please share, like, and comment on Facebook and YouTube. If you happen to be at work and you just like to hear my tiny voice and Tasha's, then you can put your AirPods in and just listen. You don't have to see these faces. We are available on all the platforms. We just like the grocery store on everything that's good on the outside. We do fruits and veggies. We on Apple, Spotify, all the Black platforms. Ebony Jet, what else is there? We're on all the things. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you. It looks like we'll be back next week, God willing. Inshallah. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.